Hi, welcome to OWAD today. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey in picking up one new Chinese expression a day. Some of such expressions that I would not think deeply what that means until I start to prepare for this episode, and then I have some new understanding. Example, like yesterday, we talked about 恭敬不如从命. Oftentimes, I heard that in the media, TV shows, even in daily life, that people will use this phrase as expression of humbleness to show like, okay, I'm respectfully following the order, even if I don't think I'm deserving such a promotion. Normally, it happens in a promotion. And when we go deeper into individual character level, then I realize, okay, 恭敬 actually is this ancient behavioral expectation on people that you show respect. You are going to take orders, otherwise you're going to be punished over there. And 从命 is giving orders. So 从命 in this particular context, it means you get promoted. You are going to step up from your obedient role who are the followers to become a leader. And that promotion step, well, first off, it's a small chance. Not everybody has the opportunity to get promoted. And when you were told that you have this new order or new destiny, new script for you, that you're going to be promoted one rank up or X number of rank up, you're going to have a number of people you are going to give order to become the leader. And then that's the moment when this phrase was used. And here at least I got this new insight about 恭敬 is in the position to be the order receiver, to transition to this 从命, this new position as the order giver, as the leader. And of course, that's a super simplification, but overall, that's almost like one directional, right? You're in that position, either here or there. Here you give order, here you receive order. There is no, dynamic kind of missing there. Okay. Today we have continuation of 静 in 肃然起敬. 肃然起敬. 4 of them, each character has prominent position, I would say. Each of them got quite some historical or original formation that requires some attention or devotion on my part to cover. Okay, so 肃. In contemporary Chinese, we often pair the 肃 with 严肃, means serious. Take something seriously, or speak seriously, or solemn, like the atmosphere of that setting is pretty solemn, as if in a courtroom. Okay, so 肃 starts from the 3-finger hand symbol, not on the top. We're holding a brush. Okay, so it's kind of whoever holding a brush, kind of having the function of the note taker. So this person, whoever can write, at least know how to write, right? So it's an educated person, but that person may not be in the position of, most often, educated person, the intellectual class, as a whole class collectively, they're not exactly in the position to be power figures. There's only one power figure in ancient China, the ruler, the top ruler, the one person. But of course, they're like a whole clan around this decision maker, and that kind of think tank role, and then have their own, levers or triggers, all that. But in general, the ruling class, I would say the educated intellectuals who can write are most likely be the communicator, be the order executor. They are not lawmakers, no such role. So people who holding a brush in such a position, and then see below the brush, there's some weird pattern. We saw this pattern in the character of ya, which means imperfect, flawed. Something is cracking up. I mean, just visually, it looks like in contemporary animation, right? Or like in memes, people often use this cornered sign to mean kind of bump head or some accident, some kind of wake up, some surprise, right? So I guess in ancient Chinese, it's kind of similar. One is kind of four corners are all bumping and have this, I don't know, this weird structure there. That means something is easily to crack. It's easily flawed. It's easily to be caught, as if, because you're the one who is passing the order, holding the brush. You have the responsibility to make things exactly right, but there are a million ways to pick what's wrong of what you're doing. So in that, I guess the bureaucracy back then, the intellectual class as a whole class, because they don't have the military power, right? They are really put in a position to execute the order. If something goes wrong, very likely they can be finger pointed at. So whoever holding that brush have this reverence of the real power that they are authorized, symbolized as the brush holder, that they are aware, like this is a fragile position, and they are in this position to pass on the order, to be the communicator, but things can easily go wrong, and therefore there is this high risk, whole flawed symbol, kind of a cracking, fractioning visually, right, below the brush, that can incur this fear, this feeling of fear. So that's the origin of Su. And oftentimes when in the ancient courtroom, kind of a panel with this character would be put there. So that kind of announcing people take it seriously. You cannot make fun at courtroom. So that's the kind of fearfulness, solemnness related to serious business carried in the garment. Okay. Ran, we have the dog symbol, kind of a sideways dog with dog ears here and kind of a leg, and the nozzle of the dog. Super simplification. I don't see 4 legs, but it's like 2. It's kind of dynamic, aerodynamic, streamlined figure of dog. And then we have the meat figure over there. That's his meat. And under it, this cone shape with 2 sparkles on the side is the fire, bonfire kind of visual. And so this fire was dog and with meat on top of it. It's so easily to just come up with the image, string the 3 symbols together to mean, oh, this is dog meat cooking, right? There may be other explanations. Let's stay with that for now, because that's the most direct, logical understanding of these 3 symbols combined together. And the essential, the core concept of the 3 symbols is this fire. That means something is burning. That related to, I guess, dog and meat represent animal power. So something mobile, something is not fixed. It's something not like a plant. You can burn, I guess, a hay, or trees, right? But burning animal is another kind of burn. It's almost like a muscle burning. So that gives this energy. And ren, indeed, in Chinese, contemporary Chinese, with another fire symbol on the side to just make it explicit, to mean this is something related to fire. And therefore, it means burning. So we already have a fire here that's simplified into 4 dots at the bottom, as if it's burning the dog meat on top of it. But that's burning. That's animal muscle burning. That translate in contemporary concept could be energy. And in this case, I translate as a vibe. It's like the energy emitting over there. is fearful. That's a fear instilling energy or vibe in that environment. So this kind of atmospherical description, when we say the vibe, that means the whole place is full of such energy. Okay, 起, we have this walking sign on the left side. On the walking side, there's a foot symbol, which is exactly actually the right foot. So this is the arch, this is the big toe, second, third toe, and just like fingers, with 3-finger hand symbol, foot symbol represented by 3 toes too. So not 5, but 3. Okay, interesting, right? So as if I wonder in ancient family, when they have multiple children, if they only recognize 1, 2, 3, and then the remaining, the smaller, younger siblings are not counted. I don't know, but over here only recognize 3 out of 5, right? Okay, the top one, it looks like a person spreading out, like a striding, make big strides, walking with a headband. Like when you headband forward, that means you're fast walking at least. So fast walking paired with the foot symbol, that simply means walking. Somebody is really take big strides walking forward. And then the right side, it looks, okay, Chinese. In contemporary Chinese, we view Chinese as horizontal, vertical, pretty strict, pretty stiff, like stick figure almost kind of language, right? Because look at here, everything is very seldomly there are curves. And if there is curve, it's, I guess the most curve, like looks like this, horizontal, vertical, backward horizontal, like 3 with 2 corners, 2 turns. That's it. Like you don't get any further complicated. Things are mostly streamlined, one directional, linear, because that's easier to handle for human brain, right? Like when we as a language user, it's easier to just write. But okay, even for contemporary Chinese students, when we learn to write this word, which is this, kind of simplified into this, we start from here, top left, go horizontal, vertical, horizontal backwards, vertical, horizontal forward, upward going vertical. Okay, how many twist turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's extraordinary. And this is in one stroke. Picture you to see if you, on a blank paper, can spatially correctly pin down this Chinese character exactly like that, in that proportion, and make such twists and turns along the way. I mean, I did it after years of training, of reinforced learning, make a mistake, rewrite, make a mistake, rewrite, until the teacher regarded as good enough a representation of this character and many, many other characters, right? So ancient way, this actually is a non-linear form. It looks like almost a worm, a worm from the soil, right? And it's a soft body, it's spineless, and make this irregular shape. Picture you as a language user, educated, intellectual back then, to try to learn to draw this thing. And because it has to be repeatable, right? Replicatable. Somebody else has to come up with the same shape. That's not an easy thing to do. So I can see why there's a reason of simplification. Even if this is already pretty challenging to write out in one stroke, this is even worse when it comes to standardization. Imagine different people draw out this worm shape, coming out the same shape. It's close to, well, it's very challenging. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it will be even more years added to the training. So this symbol actually came from, according to scholars, the young baby, the fetus in the womb. It's shapeless, it's spineless, it looks like a little worm, helpless. And this symbol eventually was used to extend into one of the 12 symbols. So Chinese, there's a certain way of fortune telling, right? start from 1 and 2, and then split, further split. So there is this 12. I guess 12 is corresponding to 12 months. That's the way to classify time, start of the year, right? And this 四 in the ancient one, contemporary Chinese already missed this part. This was supposed to be connected. You see here, it's connected, but over here, it's missing, a missing piece. So there is, during the simplification process, this piece was discarded because now it's one stroke down. You don't need to come back and make this part connected. If you have this part, it will be a different way of writing. But 四, this, as scholars say, the original meaning of that is the month of April. And April, of course, is lunar calendar year. It's different from our contemporary April months. It will be happening a little bit later, maybe half a month to 1 month later than contemporary April. That's a time when the chill, the coldness, the winter season, like the rain, the domain of coldness, are going to have this transitioning to a warm weather months. And that's when crops are going to start to be planted, start to grow, things start to, grow. That's the moment of the beginning of a new cycle. Even if we have Chinese New Year, like way before then, but in terms of agricultural practice, April was regarded as the beginning month. So this character was, as a fetus, that's a beginning of new life, right? Still shapeless, but nonetheless, it's the very beginning, was used as to symbolize for the month, lunar calendar year, April. And that means the beginning of things. And that beginning of things paired with walking, this foot walking, fast stride walking, means begin to walk. Begin to walk. What would happen if one begin to walk? Is one have to rise up to stand in the correct position to begin to walk, right? So that combination comes into this race concept. Okay, 静, I'm not going to repeat it again. Check the previous episode. We talked about it several times. 肃然起敬 means, okay, you out of fear almost, or seriousness, of solemnness, this vibe surrounded you, and then 起 is like arise from you, inside you. You start to feel this 敬, this respect. And this process of 肃然起敬, there's a little bit of surprise, a little bit suddenness, like all of a sudden, you realize you come into this sphere, this 肃然, this vibe, and you sense that, you internalize that, and quickly from you arise this sense of respect. And that describes the process of awe, someone who is in awe. And I'm just putting out this book that's specifically talking about the phenomenon, the human experience as awe experiencing. So we can feel awe from nature, get chills, get tears, and sometimes having the iteration of wow sounds like wow, such iteration that doesn't really have a character to match up to it, but of course, it's English is a pronunciation based. We can describe that as wow or something like that, like wow. That's all of a sudden mouth expansion shape, because I guess the essence of awe is individuals all of a sudden realize they are not individuals. They are part of a bigger picture. They are part of a bigger network. They're part of the universe. So suddenly there is this connection, this click of individual all of a sudden plug into this universal vibe that's awe-inspiring. And that's the experience of awe. And I think 肃然起敬 is kind of similar to that sense of all of a sudden feel fear and then feel respect. Therefore, as humans, we got humbled at a moment. Okay, cashing into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you next.